Yes, good morning. This is Ned Isakoff.
What is this regarding?
Who's calling, please?
Jessica Baldick?
Hi, Jessica. This is Ned Isakoff. We spoke a few days ago.
I don't recall speaking to you a few days ago.
Well, we were discussing a legal matter. A gentleman by the name of Charles Maddox told me to reach out to you.
Oh, Charles. Okay, yeah. Now I know the matter.
Okay, so you had said you were going to get us some information. You were working on some details. Did you come up with anything for us?
Oh, about Gina. I know who's the one behind his swatting, and her name is Gina.
All right. Do you have a last name or?
I got to get my computer on, but I have her information.
Okay, and she was the only one involved. That correct?
Yes, they did catch my voice on the audio, but I had no involvement on that.
When you say they caught your voice on audio, what does that mean?
They caught my voice on audio when she was on live streaming the SWAT.
Okay, so she actually was. You were on the phone with her when she called the police, or?
I was on Skype doing a regular conversation with her when she did the phone call.
Okay, and you're the one who gave her the phone number to dial, correct?
Originally, but I just told her not to do anything with it.
Then why did you give her the number in the first place, Miss Baldick?
It was a mistake that I regretted doing.
Okay, and if I had to list something on paper here in terms of an excuse as to why you would do something like that, do you have any ideas for me as an excuse, or?
I just wasn't thinking clearly. I have a disability.
Okay, and if you don't mind me asking, I hate to be too personal here, but when you say you have a disability, what are you like? You got a limp or what?
I got a learning disability.
Okay, you have paperwork from a physician or an education professional to back that claim up, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay, wonderful. I may need a copy of that at some point here, so keep that handy if you don't mind. There was also, now is Eddie Maddox, is he related to Charles Maddox, or? I have that name
I know.
Okay.
He's, Eddie Maddox is a troll as well.
And I'm sorry, they have him down here as Lappy 10 times?
Lappy 3 times.
Okay, and does he have any other aliases that you know of?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so he just rebroadcast strictly under the name Lappy 2 times, you said?
Lappy 3 times.
Lappy
yeah,
4
I don't
times.
go to a show or watch a show anymore.
Okay, why did you stop? What do you say show? Is he on television, or?
He's on a computer program.
Okay, and this is a character? Is this a real person, or help me
A
understand?
username on the internet.
Okay, so
He's in cahoots with Gina.
All right, when you say cahoots, what do you mean?
He hangs out with her.
Okay, well, they're friends? They live in the same town, or what?
Friends.
Okay, because I think I have written down here that this gentleman lives in the state of New York, and the Gina woman you referred to is in the state of Nevada. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you say they hang out together. That sounds a little ridiculous, given the fact that they're like several thousand miles away from each other. So that's why I wanted you to firm that up.
They hang out in the chat room all day.
Okay, that's how the kids do it these days, right? We used to go down, down to the soda shop, and now these kids are hanging out in chat rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Miss Baldick, I'm just going to get some more information about you, if you don't mind. Do you have a minute, or is this a good time for you?
This is a good time.
All right, wonderful. I just didn't want to interrupt your day. Most people heading off to work at this hour, and I've been working for 3 hours already, so I appreciate your time. Now, your last name is Baldick or Baldicks? I have it written down here.
It's just Baldick.
Baldick, B-A-L-D-I-C-K. And do you have a middle initial?
L.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Sounds like a pretty name. Okay. And now this site that this all goes on, what is this, MySpace or something? Or like, what's the name of the website?
Oh, Vaughnlive, the kick.com, I think.
Okay.
Yes, kick.com it took place on.
How do you spell that? It's with a K or a C?
Kick.
All right. And you said .org?
.com.
Okay, got it. .com. Okay, great. Okay. So, we're trying to move forward with this. Are you willing to testify in court?
Oh, I'm all the way in New York and I can't take time off.
Here's the thing. Unfortunately, if we were to subpoena you, the good news is the government would furnish your travel and any per diem and hotel stays, that sort of thing. Are you willing to cooperate if, in fact, this goes that far?
Well, see, the thing is, I work in retail and I can't take time off.
Okay, what do you do for a living, then?
I work at Walmart.
Oh, wonderful. What department?
Oh, I'm just a regular cashier.
Okay, wonderful. Every time I go to Walmart, I gotta check myself out.
Oh, okay.
They only have the self-checkout here, I guess. So, okay, well, a couple more questions, and then I'll leave you alone for the day here. So this is kick.com. Are there any other websites? Because apparently some of your pictures and your video have been showing up on, hang on a second, chatterbait.com.
I don't use Chatterbait.
Okay, and then there's pornhub.com as well.
Pornhub, I don't use that either.
Okay. All right, so you don't have any, like, odd internet habits at all, right? I mean, pretty normal.
So the only normal habit I have online is my gaming.
All right, and what game do you play?
Diablo 4.
How do you spell that?
Diablo and then 4.
Okay, and when you're on the internet, in the webs there, and you're on, like, playing the Diablo 4, or you're on the kick.com there, can you list off all the aliases that you use? Because we're pouring through a lot of footage and a lot of data, because fortunately kick.com has been very cooperative with the investigation, and we're going through all the chat logs, and we want to make sure we know who's who.
The only one I've used was WowCheck, and then the recent one I changed to was World of Warcraft.
Those are the only two you ever used on that kick.com.
The only two I've ever used.
What about on Vaughnlive.com? How many aliases do you have there?
Oh, I only go by one, Jessicalovesjesus.
Okay, now one thing, I was speaking to the owner over there and his mother. What is it? His name's Mark?
Yeah.
All right, I talked to him and his mom, Lynn. Lynn's a hell of a nice lady. But Mark told me that they have a feature on his website where people show up as not a screen name but a numerical code. I think he says it's guest chat is what it's called.
Yes, guest numbers, yes.
Okay, do you ever utilize that means by which of communication?
Not a whole lot. I don't really, not a whole lot.
What does that
Sometimes.
mean? If you were to say, like, I mean, do you use it daily, weekly, or just moment depending?
Just moment depending, but
Okay.
I don't really use it a majority of the time I'm signed in.
Let me ask you a question, just because, the more honest and the more accurate we can be on this end, the better likelihood of bringing Gina and this Eddie guy and anyone else involved in this crime to justice. We like to keep things as accurate as possible so they don't blow up in our face in a court of law. Have you ever engaged in any kind of cyber attacking or bullying through a screen name that you've not divulged to me or under one of these guest numbers?
Well, there is one, I can tell you there's one time under a guest where I was getting annoyed and I did call Gina a few names, but other than that, between Gina and Eddie, other than that, no.
Okay, so you've called Gina and Eddie bad names at a guest accounts.
Under as a guest, yes.
Okay, have you ever done anything else? Have you ever, like, in addition, these kids, they're not only, like, swatting, I don't know if you know what that means, where they send the police, but they're also, like, sending, pizzas and strippers and fucking flower arrangements to people. Have you ever been the victim of something like that, or have you yourself?
Yes, I have.
You've been sent things to your house?
On multiple occasions,
Okay,
yes.
great. Okay, got that. Also, have you ever yourself ordered one of those quote-unquote hits? Have you ever sent a pizza to anyone's house or anything like that? I mean, again, I am not the judge here. We're on your side, and anything, in terms of your complete honesty would be helpful in terms of putting this animal behind bars.
Unfortunately, no, I was not. No, I would not participate in that. No.
Okay, because I can't divulge who this source is, but through our investigation, your name was brought up that you have in the past, I believe, sent a pizza pie to some.
Program 176579.
That was in the past. That was literally in the past. I do not no longer partake in that.
So hang on a second. So you did send a pizza to Bob?
There's actually a few other people who have, but I don't recall doing so directly.
Okay, so you was involved with like a group of people joking around?
Joking around, yes.
Okay, I mean, again, like I said, Jessica, I'm not God here. I ain't the judge. I'm working on your guys' side here. So anything, even if you've done some questionable things in the past, it's important that I know about them so I can protect you moving forward. You know what I understand?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So who else was involved in sending the pizza to this Bob guy?
That I don't know. He does have a lot of enemies.
Okay, and why is that?
That I don't know.
Okay, are you in direct contact with this Bob guy? I mean, would you consider him a friend?
Yeah, me and him are actually friends now.
Okay.
So.
Well, I've been also. Is it true that this Bob guy has loose association with the Ku Klux Klan, and he has a lot of racially insensitive opinions?
That I'm not aware of.
Okay, because we're getting a lot of information that this guy's, a Trump supporter. He's a neo-Nazi. He hates minorities.
Yeah, I know he's a Trump supporter, but right. I was not aware of any of the other stuff.
Okay, because, we've also been monitoring some of these chat rooms. So, we've seen him actually, send out anti-Semitic remarks and stuff. He was talking about some old Jewish woman on the site, putting her in an oven or something. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to steer away from getting myself involved with any of that.
So you have heard about something like that?
I've heard about something about that.
Okay, well, listen, I don't mean to ask you twice, but you just told me you didn't know anything about something like that. Now you're telling me you do.
Well, it's confusing.
All right, well, you want me to start over? You want me to go a little slower? You want to talk later?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, very good. Hey, by the way, if you could tell your mother, I'm sorry for calling her so early, and she was such a sweet lady. I appreciate her cooperation, okay?
Oh, okay.
What was her name again?
Dianne.
That's what I thought. She refused to tell me her name, so anyway.
She refused because we've been getting a lot of crank calls.
Oh, really?
In the last couple of months from Rodney.
Okay.
Some guy named Rodney in Florida.
Okay, do you have his full name?
Unfortunately, no. He goes by a ton of aliases.
Okay, do you have any of the other aliases for, what was the name? Randy?
Rodney.
Rodney. R-O-D-N-E-Y?
Yes.
Okay, do you have his last name?
No, I don't. But if you go on YouTube and you type in David Sponbart,
Right.
You'll go in and see there's a ton of videos on there.
Thanks for the plug.
Okay, I think actually we've already been, we've been scouring the internet, and I believe that's in the file already. But unfortunately, based on our investigation, that anything on that YouTube channel is covered under free speech.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it turns out that the guy, his satire is protected by satire. I don't know if you know what that means, but
Yeah.
okay. So unfortunately, this Rodney guy's a dead end unless you got some more information on him.
Yeah, I don't have that much information on them.
Okay, perhaps you could reach out to some of your contacts.
I can try, but it's very hard to get any information on him.
Really? So you've been trying to look for him too? Because we're drawing blanks. I mean, we keep googling like iRodney.
Yeah, I've been trying to look all his information up too, and I'm coming up blanks as well.
Oh well, it's frustrating, isn't it? We got we got the internet webs and all this technology, and we still have a difficult time finding these things out.
Yeah, because he uses an alias on Facebook named Al Chin, and then.
Hang on a second. Let me pick up my pen again. What is you said? Al Roker?
No, he uses the alias Al Chin, ALCHIN, on Facebook.
Okay, and how do you know that it's him?
Because he trolls my work page.
Okay, and is he the only one who does that, as far as you know?
He's the only one that does that.
Okay, as far as you know, correct?
As far as I know, yes.
All right, very good. Okay, you don't have an email for this guy? I mean, does he broadcast?
No. He stays away from broadcasting.
Do you ever play Diablo with him, or have you ever
No.
spoke to him in person, or?
No, but he's been poking the bear. He goes by he's been poking the bear, so to speak, by posting my home address and family names on the internet.
You have proof of that he's posting your address?
Yeah, he's posted. He's going in room to room and doing it.
Okay, you can prove that.
Yes, I can, because he has a video on that showing he edited it out and my address is there.
Okay. Hey, Jessica, is this the best line to reach you at in the future, or do you have a cell phone number and email address I can fill in here?
This would probably be your best option.
Okay, you don't have a cell phone?
Yeah, because I don't usually give out my cell phone that often.
Oh, that's no problem. Then I totally understand that. I mean, but you have my number, so if you ever want to reach me, that's my direct line right here at my desk. And again, my name is Ned Isakoff. Just got a couple more questions. You got another minute or two?
Yeah, I got another minute.
Okay, and so you said you work in retail. Do you have any broadcasting experience, or you just mess around on these websites? Or?
I just mess around with the websites when I'm bored.
Okay, gotcha. Hey, Jessica, do you have another relative? Are there multiple Jessica Baldicks in your area?
No.
Okay, because we was in scouring of the internet, we came across what. Did you go to Horseheads High School?
I did go to Horseheads High School, yes.
Okay, because unfortunately, I don't know if this is part of the prank or not, but I was, according to a website that gathers like high school yearbooks and information like that, it says that you passed away on the 2nd of November.
Yeah, that is Rodney's editing.
Okay, and you know for sure Rodney did that?
Yeah, he keeps passing it around.
Okay, so he passed it around, but do you have any concrete evidence so we can nail him to the wall?
Concrete evidence, no.
Okay, unfortunately, that's not going to fly either. This guy sounds like a slippery motherfucker, if you don't mind my language.
Yeah, he is very slippery. He's very careful of how he identifies himself.
Wow, okay. Well, he sounds like a real sinister creep. You should stay away from that guy. Sounds like, hey, in general, you should stay away from all these people. So, in the end here, How long have you known Mr. Charles Maddox?
A long time.
Okay, when you say a long time, what do you mean, like 20 years, 10 years?
I can't really pinpoint because it's been a while.
Okay, do you have a hard time defining time because of your disability? Or?
I have a hard time remembering.
Okay, what else do you have a hard time with because of your disability? I mean, if you were to give me 3 of your strengths and 3 of your weaknesses, what would they be?
Remembering.
Okay.
Tracking time.
Okay, yeah. How about a third one?
And then I have some speech issues.
Okay. When you say speech issues, can you be any more specific?
On occasion, I do stutter.
Okay, yeah, same here. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but it took me a lot of work to try and combat it. Okay, and what are your 3 strengths?
That I don't really know.
Okay, I mean, well, how about this? You're retail, so you're a good people person, right?
Yes.
Okay, so would you say you're helpful?
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty helpful.
Would you say that you're magnanimous?
Yes.
Would you refer to yourself as an alpha or a beta female?
Kind of hard.
Okay.
In between.
Your race is Caucasian, correct?
Yes.
And it says here that you're a Christian.
Yes, I did go to church.
Okay, do you still go to church regularly, or are you a lapsed Christian?
Not as often, no.
Why is that?
Because I work on weekends.
Okay, is it true that some of these trolls ruined your good name in your church?
There's not really specific any church I go to, so it really does not bother me much.
Okay, sounds good. Also, let me ask you a question. I reached out to the Walt Disney World Corporation because I understand that there's been some discussion about you're a cruise fanatic.
Yes.
Okay, how many Walt Disney cruises have you been on?
I went on 2.
All right, I went on one about a year ago. Took the grandkids. It was fantastic. So, when's the last time you were on board a Walt Disney ship?
Last year.
Okay, very good. What ship was it?
Wish, I think.
The Wish. Okay. All right. I've heard
It would be the
things
Wish.
about that. You guys have a good time on that trip?
Yep.
Did you do any gambling or drinking while you were on board?
They don't have gambling on any of the Disney ships.
You caught me. That was a test. All right. So we're really getting down to the end here. So Jessica, ultimately, if you were to put into words for me, what kind of an outcome would you like to have happen here regarding Gina and anyone else we can put in the net?
Regarding Gina and Eddie, Gina needs to be dealt with properly because I think what she did was a felony.
Okay, explain to me your rationale behind that.
Because she claims it was a welfare check, but she made a false police report stating that I was being harmed and I was being threatened, but there is no threat there.
Well, unfortunately, I watched the video, and she really didn't make any false accusations. So that's the problem. So that's why I'm calling you for information. See if we can depth the case here a little bit. I need any help I can get from you.
I'm trying my best.
Well, this Gina, I mean, you're not the first person to make these accusations. You know what I mean?